There is no God that created everything, but there must be somebody that created the cars we drive, which is a man. So you tell me, between a car and a man, which is more complex to warrant a designer and a creator? There is no way the car you drive could have come into existence by evolution, but it is easy for you to believe that a complex and ordered human came from evolution. So you mean to tell me it is evolution that knew and made the conscious decision to create a male and a female for reproduction? However or whatever it is that made man came about, knew intelligently and not spontaneously that there is going to be reproduction and made provision for it. It was a conscious and intelligent decision for the male and the female to be created. So you mean to tell me that many years ago, when evolution was evolving things at the bottom of the ocean, it decided to evolve a male and a female with the conscious decision and consideration for reproduction? Before I present some factual scientific points, I want to quickly say that an easy reason why you keep saying there is no God is because the different religions there are keep doing things that suggest God is a myth, with examples such as a pastor telling his member to bring money so he can invest in real estate for them in heaven, as if heaven is a place where there is land, let alone buy and sell it. A pastor telling his members that if you don't pay your tithe, you won't go to heaven, as if money is used in heaven. A pastor telling his members that he drank tea with God in heaven, as if heaven is a place where food and drinks are made or fried. Religion is not a true representation and knowledge of God. Religion is a fantasy and romance of God, and not a real part of knowing and understanding God. If you want to really know God, find Him within your deepest thought. You will see His works being manifested all around. Even common sense will bring you closer to knowing God than religion will. Now, let's deliberate on some factual scientific points. It is known that the male has an XY chromosome and the female has SS chromosome. And evolution says there was a time when there wasn't this differentiation, where reproduction was asexual, maybe through cloning or budding or what have we. So let's presume that evolution brought us here, so I can point out what I want to point at. And there has been countless species before us that reproduce sexually, meaning they both have to copulate with different sexual features to bear an offspring that will either be male or female of what they are. Then let's go back with many years to when there wasn't sexual reproduction but asexual reproduction, where a species can clone itself or bud from itself. So this is the question I want to ask. So when species were cloning or budding themselves to become male or female, how were they able to develop sexual organs meant for reproduction that will physically fit with the opposite sex? How were they able to know that, okay, as a female fish, that a certain fish will evolve into, her sexual organs need to be like this and positioned at this part of her body so that it can be accessible to the male fish that has its sexual organs like that and at that part of its body? How was the sexual compatibility of different sexes ensured in terms of structural fitness when it comes to usage? How was it designed beforehand? Let's move on to another factual scientific point, which is language. You mean to tell me that evolution designed us from under the ocean all the way to the land and gave us mouth, tongue, and vocal cord to talk? The design did not stop there. It went ahead to give the next man an ear to hear what you will say with the aforementioned features. In one hand, evolution provided the mouth, the tongue, the vocal cord used for talking. They went ahead to provide an ear for the next man to hear what you will say with the aforementioned features. Doesn't this sound like a decision made from consciousness and intelligence? Let's move on to another factual scientific point, which is consciousness. An object can only have consciousness when such consciousness is given to it by another object that have consciousness. Let's say you walk past an AI machine in the street and it tells you to turn back, that the government is fixing the road down the street. Such is consciousness and awareness to an extent. The AI machine is able to recognize that you are a human and you are going to a certain direction that is not advisable at the moment. And the AI machine is able to explain to you and convince you, a conscious being, to turn back. You see this little kind of consciousness possessed by the AI machine can never be gotten independently. It can never be gotten with physicality and materiality acting on its own without consciousness and intelligence. It must come from another being that has consciousness, which is human. It is absurd for we humans to see our consciousness and awareness is given to us by evolution, a term that does not have consciousness, but rather a supposed opportunistic natural progression and diversion. Consciousness can only be possessed by a being, be it a bodied being or spiritual being. And a being can only have consciousness when it is given by another being with consciousness. Just imagine an evolutionary world where there is no consciousness and evolution is doing its job, evolving different things to life through natural selection and what have we. Then suddenly, evolution brought about a male and a female of a certain species. They knew that they must sleep with each other, and when they gave birth to an offspring, they knew that they must take care of the offspring. They are able to reason out how to take care of the offspring. How can all this knowing come from a process as evolution that has no consciousness and awareness? The consciousness possessed by beings present in the earth today came from another realm and being, which I will call the spiritual realm and God respectively. The reason why the spiritual realm sounds so difficult for the greater scientific community to take home is because they can't see it with their physical eyes or microscope or a telescope. Yet they always forget to remember that there are things present in this earth that they confirmed but aren't observable to the physical eyes, microscope or a telescope. Examples are the magnetic field, radio waves, dark matter, subatomic particles. Some of these are not observable to the physical eyes, microscope or a telescope, but they are observably understood and confirmed to exist by the greatest instrument and machine for knowledge available to us, which is the human brain. The principle and definitive formulas that gave birth to different species there are in the world, and the consciousness that accompanied them is created and provided by God, who is a spiritual being and dwell in the spiritual realm.